Hey guys, thanks for stopping by. This is the channel where I talk about everything manifesting, mindset, magic. Today I want to talk about how inspired action really helps with bringing a manifestation in. Also, inspiration, just all about how I found the more that I get inspired, the more things just really fall into place for me. And I guess this makes sense in some ways because anytime that we're inspired, we're in a better, higher vibrational state. So we're feeling good and we're feeling like joy and excitement and stuff. And when you're taking actual action, you also have the momentum to feel like, yeah, I'm doing this. Like, I'm really achieving what I set forth to achieve. You feel like you are taking the proper steps and you can see that progression in the physical happening because you're doing it as well. So I believe manifestations come from the mind, and we really don't have to do much action, especially actions that we don't like. We don't have to force into something that feels super terrible and is like against our soul, and we're feeling really, gross about it or just mad or frustrated. Like, I don't believe that you have to work super hard to accomplish your dreams. I do believe that sometimes we have to do things that maybe we don't like so much, like we have to do paperwork or we have to do, like the things that are just part of life. Sure, sometimes we have to do that. But when you have inspiration and you have like this new exciting thing, those little details usually shouldn't feel like painful and just awful and like you're, struggling because you don't want to do it. You'll be more inspired because you'll be like, oh, it's all part of the greater plan, and I have this inspiration behind me that makes me excited for life. And I don't think that you always have to know the exact plan of what you want to do, but having kind of ideas of like the emotions you want to feel, like the the car in front of me just hit the curb really hard. Oops. uh, that kind of sidetracked me. I wonder what that means. I wonder if there's some hidden meaning in that. Maybe it'll curb you to a stop if you don't have, if you feel like maybe you're getting curbed like to a halt if you don't have everything figured out. But the second that you get a little bit of inspiration, it starts to turn into more inspiration. And maybe not in the way that you thought. Like, do you ever, I'm really bad for this, but I start a project and I start doing it, and then either midway through the project, I'm like changing the project and I'm like changing it into something better or something different, or I'm already like, oh my god, I thought of the next project that's so much better. Maybe that's my ADHD a little. I don't actually know if I have ADHD, but sometimes I feel like I'm a little scatterbrained. Anyways, I feel like having inspiration is super beneficial in any form. If you're inspired to do anything, start doing more of that thing because it's going to spark more inspiration in that way. Even if it's just like walking your dog more or feeling like, whatever you're feeling, like you need to get out to nature and be inspired in that way. Just like really think of the things that you like about walking your dog or about being in nature or about just like having some solitude, and then really work on creating, how can I do more of this in other areas of my life? How does this like, lead to different inspiration? How can this actually overflow into other areas of my life? How could I do this? Can I make money from this? Can I, if you start kind of thinking in ways of how to gain more inspiration, you're going to see a bit more inspiration. And I think that's like key to manifesting because it helps you stay not in a state of like feeling lack of anything. It helps you feel like you already are creating, which you are. You're naturally a born manifester. I believe all your thoughts are constantly going to be attracting your reality, and whatever you're thinking about or feeling, more so the feeling, because I mean we have like kind of, we can say thoughts in our head, but if we're feeling the opposite, then it's not going to manifest in the way that we're saying it. Like if you're saying I'm rich, I'm rich, I'm rich, I'm rich, but you really feel poor, it's more of the emotion of feeling poor. So you have to go into a place of how can you actually change that emotion. And the same with being inspired. When you're inspired, you're just in a better vibrational state. And so being inspired is like very, very crucial to staying in a more positive flow, to getting the things you actually have been wanting and have been waiting for. And even if it's not necessarily in the exact alignment, like I'm trying to think of something. Say you're wanting a new house and you don't know how you're going to get that, but you have to just trust and believe that some way you're going to get this house. But the inspiration can be from anything. It can be from things that are not related to money. It could be things that are not related to the house. It can be just maybe you're creating more art for fun. And you start to do it more and more, and you start to really find your truth of like what your passion is and what feels really good in that moment. It's just going to magnetize you into a place of you're going to understand where this house is going to come from, or how you're going to do this, or maybe you're going to end up starting this side project. Maybe you're going to have this side hustle. Maybe you just realize, oh, I could ask for a house. Like, who knows? There's so many ways that the world works, and depending on where you're at, maybe you're gonna be like, I have enough money to buy a house right now, just not where I'm living. Maybe it's not in North America or Europe. Maybe I'm gonna go buy a house in Thailand or Sri Lanka or abroad. So like, I feel like when you're in those high flying vibrational states and you're really in your bliss and inspiration, everything's gonna start to kind of come to you. It has for me, and it has for other people that I've met. It's just kind of how it works when you get into a place of feeling like really like good in life and inspired. You just start to feel like you can handle it, and the answers will be given to you. And this might sound a little bit far out and crazy, but you really have to try it, and you really have to just stay, like, probably for at least 3 months. You have to be, it's not something that happens overnight. Like, you have to build momentum to feeling inspired. So even if you're at a job that you don't really like, what are the things that you can be inspired about that job? Why did you get the job in the first place? There must have been something you liked. And if there wasn't, I'm sorry, maybe you do need to get a new job ASAP and get on that. But like, a lot of times we maybe romanticize or think amazing about something, and then we start to focus more on like the negatives or the little parts we don't like, and then it kind of loses its luster or whatever. But if you start to really be inspired, and maybe it's not even like you're going to work, it's just a mediocre work, but maybe there's someone there that's really inspiring. Maybe the boss, maybe a coworker that has a side hustle or has something, or like whatever you're trying to gain. You can always find inspiration from things around you, and from people maybe that come into your work or the actual work you're doing. Like, you can work to finding inspiration. And if you can't at all, then maybe it's time for a change. But I think that staying inspired a big portion of your day is really gonna like just jumpstart your manifestations, because you're gonna be in a high vibrational state, and you're just gonna pull more of that into your life. And when you're inspired, you're down to take that action. And a job may just be a job, but if you're happy to show up to work and you're making money, you can save that money for the next step, the next position, the next thing you want to do. Maybe your job is like mediocre, but it provides you all the things you want. You want to go camping, you want to be with your family, being grateful for that. You're going to get a raise, you're going to be magnetic, you're going to seem, and like, so much more. People are going to want to be around you. Bosses are going to see this about you. The more that you're inspired, people are going to be like, whoa, that person's like, excited. They're nice to be around. You have like this, people have a magnetic, energizing, recharging energy when they can be inspired. Even if it's a job like a janitor or cleaning a place, like, people respect someone that likes their work and someone that shows up and is happy and does their work and is stoked. Like, it's just something that I feel like is contagious and will, if you genuinely truly feel it and you start to feel inspiration, it's going to pay off and it's going to show in your life. I don't know how that would look, but I just know that. Like, I know from all my heart that doing inspired action is really a huge game changer. And besides, you get to enjoy whatever you're doing. And I think that that's such a important part of life too, is to enjoy right now where we're at, no matter what it is, whatever we're going through. If we're healing right now or if we're brokenhearted, just enjoying the process as much as you can to know, because the more that we can appreciate the now, the more that we're going to call in all the other things, and it's going to be a less of a struggle in the now. So like if you have a really you have a lot of heartbreak right now, or you know, like you've went through a lot of loss, or you're just struggling financially, the more that you can be grateful and appreciative of right now where you're at, knowing that things are always going to be changing, knowing that this happened for a reason, just embracing it, still finding inspiration through it day by day, the world is going to align for you so quickly. 11:11 on the clock. You can make a wish if you like. But I just really think that this was a huge game changer for me, so I wanted to share with you guys, and I hope that you're all having a lovely day. If you like this, you can like it, subscribe, do whatever you want. Thumbs up. I hope that you guys have a lovely evening. Sending you all so much love, and love to hear from you if you have anything to add to this. Ta-ta. Bye.